What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Tonight. Okay, we're coming back to the Warning. Yes, indeed. The Warning Fans Feeling You. Come on now. Here we go. Okay, this was requested by Paula Gallucci, Tigga Brett, and Jeff Volpe. They all want to see me react to this song by The Warning called Ugh. I hope I pronounced that right. U-G-H. Ugh.
Are you kidding me?
First thing that comes to mind is Charlie Brown for some reason. I don't know why. So this is kind of a special request because it actually got prioritized due to the Patreon page. This was one of the 3 randomly selected songs I picked out of the queue that qualified, of course, to go into the vote. Now, this went into the premier tier voting. So everybody on Patreon gets to vote once a week on 3 random songs. But if you're on one of the upper tiers, like if you're in the gold tier, the silver tier, or even the bronze tier, you guys get a second vote every week that's strictly for you guys. You know, if you're in the basic tier, you get 1 vote per week. If you're in the bronze tier or higher, you get 2 votes per week. So this was for the upper tier vote. I picked 3 requested random. There was a vote, and this is the one that won the vote. So it was sitting in the queue at number 767, and now it's right to the top. There you go. So there you go, Warning fans. The Warning fans apparently are on Patreon en masse. So there you go. That's how it's done. Look, I selected 3 at random. This is just happened to be one of the 3. So have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this is not a song I've ever heard from them. It doesn't ring a bell anyway. However, there's always a chance I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by The Warning, okay, and the video has 217,480 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ugh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The Warning, live at Lenario. Okay, I've seen a few songs from this show from these guys, so we'll see what happens here. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Too many reasons, trading and too
I'm digging the groove. I'm digging the feel on this song more than anything else. It's hard to describe. It's hard to put into words what I'm trying to put into words right now for some reason. I'm having a real hard time coming up with what I want to say. How do I say it? It's I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. Oh God. Anyway, it's not coming to me right now. Let's keep going for right now. Maybe it'll come to me. Hopefully, we'll see. One can only hope. One can only hope. Let's keep going for now. Okay. I think I finally figured it out. Okay, so the verses are fine. I like the verses. I personally, I think the verses are my favorite part of the song, which is weird. I think that's why I was having a hard time putting things into perspective and putting things into formed and structurized sentences. I'm digging the verses the most. I am absolutely digging the verses the most out of this entire song. I like the kind of call and response going on between Danny and Pau and Ale. She comes out and she sings a couple lines, and they respond with the oh. You know, those are cool. It's nice. It's a nice breakup. I like the choruses too. The choruses are really nice. I can see the hook there. I can definitely see that that's the hook for most people. Very catchy, very appealing. The pre-choruses. That's where I'm having a little bit of an issue. Maybe it's the chordal selection that they're doing. I don't know, but something about the pre-chorus isn't sticking well with me for some reason. It doesn't sound bad. It just sounds a little awkward. It sounds a little strange. It doesn't sound fluid. It doesn't sound as fluid as like the verse does or the chorus does, especially the chorus. The chorus is definitely the most flowing and definitely the best moving parts part of the song. Lots of transitions from chord to chord in the chorus, and that it sounds good. It all makes sense. But in the pre-chorus, they got some chordal selections that sound a little awkward. Now here's the thing. It doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound horrible. It doesn't sound like it was stupidly done. It doesn't sound like any of that. It just sounds a little weird. It sounds a little awkward. It sounds like it doesn't quite flow as well in comparison to what's happening in the chorus. Now, that may be done on purpose. That may be done for the reason of making the chorus sound better. You know, they may have constructed the pre-chorus with some weird chord transitions to kind of make to set up the chorus to sound even better than it really is. If that's the case, and I'm willing to bet that there's a good chance that is the case, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. To make the pre-chorus kind of get your attention and can make it kind of go, and then the chorus hits, and it's like, oh, that sigh of relief. You know what I mean? So that could very well be the case. I don't know if it is. I wouldn't know unless I were to actually speak to the girls and ask them about this song and say, hey, listen, when it came to the pre-chorus, did you guys design those chords in the pre-chorus on purpose that way to set up the chorus in such a way to make the chorus sound even more appealing? You know, I wouldn't know unless I actually spoke to them and I could actually ask them. That is a question I would like to ask them. Because like I said, if they did do that knowingly, on purpose, deliberately doing it like that, that is brilliant. It is brilliant. You know, there is intentional genius and there's accidental genius, you know, and either way, it makes sense to, you know, give, it has the given effect I think that it was going for in either case. So let's keep going for right now. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Okay. Yeah. The ending. I'll talk about the ending in the review. I got some thoughts on this, obviously, but nope, not gonna say it here. I'll save it all for the review. I'll see you in the review. We'll talk about everything, I promise. Well, there you go, folks. That was The Warning with, I hope it's pronounced Ugh. I hope that's it. Ugh. Sure. This was a request from Paula Galucci, Tiga Brett, and Jeff Volpe, Volpe. Sorry, Volpe. And this was actually prioritized on the Patreon page through a vote. So yeah, if you're a member of the Patreon page, you get to vote on stuff like this and possibly bump one of the songs that you want to hear up to the top of the queue. So that was the case here. Like I said, I randomly select 3 songs, put them into a poll. Patreon members get to vote. Winner gets up to the top, and that was the winner for the Patreon members who are on the premier tiers, bronze and higher. Everybody on the Patreon page, remember, gets 1 vote per week. There's a second vote that happens every week for the premier tier members, so keep that in mind. Okay, so let's get to the score here. On a scale of 1 to 10, oh gosh, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it, yep. I'm gonna give it a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
If I'm being honest here, and you know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I always am. This was not my favorite song by them. Not by any stretch. I will say, I don't think this is the worst song they've done. I do see the merits of this song, but I would not put this in my top 5 or probably even top 10 from them. I mean, now look, don't get me wrong, okay? It's a really good song. That's why it's getting a really good score, okay? But I just don't feel it has the attraction, and it has the hook, and it has the quote-unquote star power that a lot of their other songs have. That's not to say, like I said, that's not a really good song. It is well written. The verses are, like I said, I think the verse is probably my favorite part of the song, which is unusual for me. I'm usually more of a chorus guy, but I mean, verses. There's a few songs I like that are the verses are the super hooky part for me. I do see the hook in the chorus. I do. I just feel like for me personally, the verse hooked me more than the chorus did. The call and response between Danny and the other two, between Pao and Ale, the one versus the two, the call and response, it was nice. It felt good in the verse. Would that have worked elsewhere in the song? Maybe in the chorus, possibly. I know in the chorus they were doing something like that, but not. It wasn't the exact same thing. It was modified. It was different. But it sounded good. Both parts sounded really good. The pre-chorus is still kind of snagging for me. It's still kind of making me tilt my head and go, you know, it's not bad. It's just weird. It's just out there. It's like, why those chords? Why that chordal progression? And the only thing I could think of, and like I said, it happened for one of two reasons. One, purely by mistake, and they wrote those chords and they thought that sounded good and they stuck with it. Or they did it intentionally, which is knowing how intelligently these girls write songs, there is a very strong possibility that that is the case. They intentionally wrote an awkward pre-chorus to set up the chorus to make the chorus sound even better than it really is. If that is the case, and they did that intentionally, like I said before, that's brilliant, because not too many bands think that way. Not too many bands think in the ways of chess, where sometimes you need to sacrifice a few pawns. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice a few bishops. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice a few rooks so you can set up your knights and your queen for a great move, you know? Possibly a checkmate. And I think that might be the case here. They kind of sacrificed the pre-chorus to be kind of awkward and not quite sounding as good as it could have possibly been. Not quite so conducive to the rest of the song, for the purpose of setting up the chorus to sound even better than it actually is. Because in comparison, you got this kind of awkward pre-chorus, and then you go into the chorus, and it all makes sense in the chorus. It's a relief. You get that sigh of relief, and it feels good. It feels better than it actually is. I think of it like this. You're out in the California sun for 2 or 3 hours, right? You're out there working, doing whatever you're doing, gardening, mowing the lawn, whatever, or doing some construction or whatever, and it's hot, right? And you go for a few hours without getting that cold drink of water, right? Now, the time finally comes. You're dying of thirst, right? You're hot, it's dry, it's gross outside. You feel all sticky, and your throat is like all squelched up, and it's like, it's getting to the point where it's a little hard to swallow. You get that cold bottle of water, just water, and you drink that water. That is the best tasting water you've ever had at that moment, isn't it? Isn't it? You know it is. Same thing here. You get that sigh of relief. You get that release, that, thank God, in the chorus. And it's the best chorus you've ever heard, isn't it? Yeah, it is. at that moment in comparison to what came prior. You see what I mean? So yeah, I'm not knocking on the girls at all. I'm not taking a dig at them whatsoever. Like I said, if they did this intentionally, that is brilliant on their part. But even if it was on accident, the effect is the same nonetheless. You still get that sigh of relief. You still get that release, and it feels good. It feels really good. And it was a contributing factor. Now, there's no denying, though, that pre-chorus does sound a little awkward, and I'm not going to lie, it did affect the score a little bit. It did. But I think the end result got the result that they wanted. So, we'll go with that. But overall, a really good song. It was not bad at all. It was a really good song, which is why it's gained the 7.8. Now, if you're not sure, maybe you're new to the channel, maybe you don't know what a 7 point is. Let me help you out there. Take a look down below. Go down into the video description. You're going to need to click the, read more or see more, whatever that button says. You need to click that button so you can see the whole description. In the description, you will find my scoring charts, okay? Look at 7.0 to 7.9. What does that say? It says really good, right? So anything that falls between a 7.0 and a 7.9 is classified as really good. This is getting a 7.8. It's up at the top. It's not quite 7.9, but it's not 7.3 or 7.2 either. It's up there on the really good. So basically, loosely translated, it's a really good, okay? Hopefully that helps clarify things. So, 7.8, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hopefully you'll enjoy the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you did enjoy the show and you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to join the fan base by clicking on that button down there. Yeah, you know the button I'm talking about. Click on that button, join the fan base, and become one of us. Now, for whatever reason, if you don't feel like clicking on that button, that's okay. I still respect you. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It'll do me a world of good, and it will do you absolutely no harm whatsoever. Finally, if you guys do join the fan base, you will find a bell down there that you can click on. By clicking on that bell, it'll keep you up to date on everything happening with this channel, including when new content gets dropped. So, if you want to stay in the know, click on the bell, and you'll stay in the know. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Until next time, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.